Good evening, everybody. In today's video, let us learn about what are the aims and objectives of teaching biological science. You know, we have certain aims in our life, isn't it? So we always confuse the terms aims and objectives. Let us be clarified with this video what are aims and objectives. As a teacher trainee, you know we have certain aims in our life and objectives are short term. These are measurable and achievable. Let's see them in detail now. You can see in this picture what is the relationship between aims and objectives is depicted here. You can see objectives are very small, short term, they are measurable. And what are aims? Aims are nothing but the general or the overall purpose what for we are doing a thing. Is it not? For teaching, what is the general or the overall purpose of teaching that particular lesson is called as the aim. And it is a long term thing. It's that the aim never ends till our life, till the teaching goes on, where our aims are achieved, to be achieved, is it not? The end point where you reach in the aim is your result. Okay, I hope this is what we call. If somebody asks you what is your vision in life, you would be saying, I want to become a better teacher, like that. So the objectives are something which you achieve daily. For example, after joining as a teacher, you learn the teaching skills, you learn micro teaching, where these are achievable and measurable, is it not? What is your aim? Your aim is to become a good and a competent teacher. Likewise, in teaching, when you want the children to be educated, you want them to learn, get knowledge, understand it, apply it to different situation, and they have to realize what is the connection between what they learn in the classroom and what they learn in their textbooks. So these are the connections which you know. So for this, a teacher should know what are the aims and objectives of learning or teaching a particular lesson. You can see some examples are given for you to understand about what are aims and what is objective. So what the aims are nothing but which are a long-term process, isn't it? So to achieve those things, you are given training. You are giving the students. You develop a thinking ability of the students. So through that, you encourage a creative and a critical thinking among the students. On the other side, you can see you teach the students the different kinds of scientific facts, principles, laws, everything. So it develops a moral and a personal discipline for them to conserve the nature on the whole. Then you teach the students about the different scientific methods of inquiring the facts, whatever they face in life. So it makes them prepared for a scientific attitude in future. So the objectives are very short term, observable and measurable, and it will help you to achieve the aim of learning science or any subject. Okay, next you can see what are objectives. They provide a direction to the instruction what you wanted to teach. It will show you the way how to instruct the students. Then it will provide you guidelines. It will say you how to assess what the students have learned, what they have learned. So this will help you to convey how your method of instruction is going inside the classrooms. Okay, இதன் மூலமாக நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுறீங்க, ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு புரியும்படியாக தெளிவாக என்ன சொல்லி கொடுக்க போகிறீங்க அதெல்லாம் இதில் அப்ஜெக்டிவ்ஸில் வரும். தென் what are the different types of objectives we have when we learn any teaching? We say that the objectives can be broadly classified into cognitive, affective and psychomotor. Okay, we will see them what are they in the later. Next, you can see what are the characteristics of objectives. We can say the objective can be given in 5 steps. That is SMART. What is SMART? It is that it is specific. The objectives are very specific. You are very clear with that, and they are measurable. You can measure what you have attained now. After teaching a lesson, you can find out from the students whether they have understood or not, isn't it? It is measurable and it is achievable. Yes, it can be attained. It is realistic in nature. That is, it is achievable and it is realistic. It is which can be done by any person. Okay, and it is time bound. So after teaching a lesson, you will conduct a test for 40 minutes or 10 minutes. So depending upon the learning, the students perform the exam and they get a mark. So this is called as an objective. By getting 50 in science, when they learn and get 50 marks in science, it means that they are getting their scientific attitude. What is the purpose of teaching is achieved there. Your aim of training the children there is achieved there. Okay. So the other things you can see here, normally when we say objectives, it is specific, measurable, achievable, and also it is realistic and time bound in nature. Then the next thing is that then you can see here what is an objective. It will provide you instructional. Let us see some differences between an aim and an objective. Aim is an ultimate goal which an individual or the person strive to achieve in his life. Okay. Then you can see what is an objective. An objective is something a person seeks to achieve by continuously chasing over it. So it will be an aim is for a long term, whereas an objective is for a short term. Then aim is providing a general direction, but whereas objective is a specific goal of an individual. It might be an individual in learning or teaching, like that. Next, we can see here what is the next difference between the aim and objective. What is the purpose? Aim has a purpose and objectives are achievement. Take for example, if you get 50 marks in science, that means your achievement is that. What is your purpose? To make the students learn science better. So through the objectives, you increase your objectives so that your purpose is attained there. And then aim will describe what is to be achieved and how it is to be achieved is an objective. How you do the things is objective. Then is there any time for aim? The aim is already we have seen it is a long term, so it doesn't have any time out. But objectives means, take for example, if you have to pass within this 3 months a course, means you have to finish that course. That is an objective. Yes, it has a time limit. And measurement, here aim cannot be measured, but objective is measured, and we can see what is your achievement in a particular exam or a particular subject or anything. So aim lacks measurability, whereas objectives are measurable in nature. I hope with this chart you are able to find the difference between aims and objectives of learning science. Then what are instructional objectives? Instructional objectives are nothing but they are very specific, measurable, short term and observable student behavior. So when you teach a lesson, you want the students to understand some basic concept, is it not? This is called as an instructional objective. Take for example, when we teach a lesson about plant tissues, we want them to understand about what is xylem, what is phloem, what are the other elements, component, trachea, vessels, like that. So these are nothing but the observable student behavior, which is called as the instructional objectives. So it will help you to find where the learner is there, whether he has understood the concept or not. Okay. Then there is a comparison. This chart shows a comparison between the educational and the instructional objectives. Normally, when you see the educational objectives, they are very broad, but instructional objectives are very specific. Then you can see what is the basis for these objectives. Here in educational objectives, the social philosophy, whereas psychology is the source of your objective. Psychology means what? The study of the minds of the people, is it not? So depending upon the students, your objective will change. Okay, they imply the teaching objectives. Here the objectives are achieved with the help of the students only. You can see it is a long time duration, whereas it is in the achieved instructional objectives are achieved within that particular period. That is, take for example, when I teach plant tissues, I have to make them clear what is xylem. So they should be very clear that xylem is meant for water conduction, phloem is for food conduction. Like that, they have to be refined. So it is linked with the classroom teaching. Okay, you can see all these subjects in the school have their own educational objective. Science teaching is different, social science teaching is different, the educational objective of teaching English is different, maths is different. But when you go into the instructional objective, they are specific for that particular subject. Okay, I hope these examples will clarify your doubts about what is educational and instructional objectives. Then let us see the instructional objectives. It can be more briefly classified into general objectives and specific objectives. When you start writing a lesson plan, you should be very clear what are general objectives and what are specific objectives. The specific objectives are related to the behavioral aspect, that is, behavior of the student. What type of behavior they exhibit when they learn the things. It is related to their performance, how they do the things. After teaching plant tissues, they should be able to very clearly dissect and find what is a xylem or a phloem, like that. And it is to be related to the measurement. So you have to measure how far they are good in the concepts, is it not? And it is related to their learning outcomes and also in their way they do, that is their operational aspects. I hope you are now clear with what are aims and objectives of teaching biological science. Let us continue in the next video about how to plan and write the educational objectives according to Bloom's taxonomy of objective in brief. Thank you.